It's day 28 of working on the business, and I'm continuing to progress and make improvements. I'm going to be sharing with you 2 different steps in order to improve the mindset in order to do better. Now, I share this because if you're looking to start a business, want to be a little bit more optimistic, or just improve your mindset, you are in the right place. I'm happy that you're here. If you can like and subscribe, that helps me out a ton because there's a lot of content out there that is negative, and we're doing something a little bit different here. So in today's video, I'm going to be discussing how, when it comes to the business side, I've been spending a lot of time more on the videos, but not enough time on the product. And it kind of reminds me when it comes to, let's say, paying off a loan. Oftentimes you're paying off the interest before you're really chipping away at the principal. And I'm finding that it's similar here, that I'm spending a lot of time making up the videos, showing it, discussing it, but then every day I'm only putting in, let's say, like 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes into making the actual flowcharts, the things that actually can help people and provide value. And maybe I'm doing it backwards. Maybe I need to be like paying myself in the sense that the more time I focus on actually creating the flowcharts, being productive, doing something great with that, and stacking the actual product, and then with the leftover time, then make the videos and just talk about it, discuss it. Perhaps that's better because I want to have something that's like really great and not only just have 1 or 2 or 3 flowcharts, but actually have a huge list saying like, hey, you know what? These are the issues that I went through. These are some of the things. This is my thought process. Here are some mindset maps, etc. flowcharts. Take a look. Here you go. Now I actually have something to deliver as opposed to saying like, okay, yeah, I'm working on it. This is my thought process. Spent 15, 20 minutes. So today I did something a little bit different, and I'll be showing you the flowchart as well because I took a little bit of a different approach and I really like it. Effectively, I did all my solutions into categories and then seeing where's the overlap and going from there. I know it's a lot, don't worry about it, but we're going to talk about number 2 is I have a lot on my plate. It's always been like that, but now I'm starting to just chip away consistently, and one of it is with a certification course. So certification course is just me to improve myself, skill set, resume, etc. But nevertheless, I committed to it. I'm going to follow through and see it through. However, with the certification course, they threw a lot of stuff at me saying like, hey, there's all this optional material, these optional resources. We expect you to do X, Y, and Z. And I go, whoa, I did not see that coming. I didn't know about it. So I'm in a position where I want to do all these things. I'm the type of person that I take pride in my work. I want to put in 100% effort. If I do something, I want to do it well. I want to make sure that I'm making the most of it, get it done. Nice, organized, go on to the next thing. But in this situation, I have way too many tasks that I need to get done. And when I was talking to the person, like one of the people that runs the certification programs, I said, listen, I did all of this, which is a necessary requirement. I did the second thing, which is a necessary requirement. And at this point, I know it's not the best of my ability, but is that good enough? Because I need to move on to other things. And she's like, I guess you're good. I'm like, awesome, thank you. And I moved on to the next task, which felt great. It didn't feel great because a part of me, like maybe it's a part of the ego where I'm assigning some value to that, where I'm like, okay, the quality of work is attached to how valuable I feel with myself. But at the same time, that's not true because if I had more time, I could definitely do better. And my self-worth is not tied to the value of the product that I deliver, if that makes sense. Because I can always get better. I can develop more skills and do better. So that's not a true reflection as to who I am and my worth. So just want to share that with you because when it comes to working on all these tasks and going through the business and the mindset, people just seem to have it all figured out, right? Almost as if it was one big epiphany. So why didn't you figure it out? But it comes through these incremental steps. And I want to share that with you because it may seem insignificant, but these are key components that are really helping me out. Now, major disclaimer for this whole video and anything on my channel is I'm not like a professional. When it comes to this, I'm not a professional in the sense of not a counselor, not a psychologist. So if you are going through some stuff, definitely seek out professional help. But these are just tools and techniques that really help me out. So that is that. And I also want to share with you right now the flowchart, because I've been working on a different flowchart, and the issue that I'm looking to solve, at least this helps me out, is, let's see, got the nerdy glasses so you know stuff's about to get real, is discussing how to avoid gambling. Now, For me, knock on wood, not addicted, but sometimes I get the temptation. And everybody can have their own type of vice, but gambling sometimes can be one of those where I know the reasons as to why it's not a good idea, but still that temptation is there. So I created this flowchart in order to help me out. And you can watch yesterday's video, but effectively I wrote down the problem and certain solutions that I have in my mind. And with that, I noticed that there are a lot of solutions. I'm trying to do this flowchart. I'm like, how am I going to hit up all these solutions? So I took a different approach, and I literally took all these 10 different points, and I listed it up here, up on top. Now, if you're watching from a phone, I know that it's not easy to necessarily take a look and see all the text, so I'll be leaving a link in the description so you can pull it up and you can take a look at it and zoom in and follow along wherever you need to. But effectively, I listed it out and then I gave a label on top as to which category does it fall under. I'm like, okay, does this fall under like a money issue, a time issue, just surrounding myself, addiction, etc. And then based on here, I identified like, hey, I'm feeling this way, but I know there's a conflict as to it's not the best idea to go out gambling. So let's dive in and figure out what exactly is it. Is it a money issue? Is it time, addiction? Like just by reading all these different reasons as to why it's not the best idea is really beneficial for me, and which is why I hope that it's helping you out. So if you liked anything that I described in this video, please like and subscribe because it really helps me out. Smaller channel, really growing, putting in the time, the effort, just putting this out there and like seeing you guys like it really shows me that I'm doing a good job. And if not, do a dislike. Then it also gives me feedback. But nevertheless, there are certain things where I have to always put a disclaimer that, you know, there is probably a healthy amount of gambling potential. I'm not here to say, like, rip on it and say, like, it's horrible, never do it, or the people there. But this is just, like, these are my opinions, right? And there's certain things where I say, okay, I could be using my time better. I could be surrounding myself in an environment which is probably promotes healthier habits. So not to say like anybody that does gambling, you know, has bad habits or anything of that nature. No, but these are just my opinions that there could be better uses of my time and surrounding myself with different people in that regard. So then when we take a look at such as the addiction aspect, I'll be asking myself questions like, okay, am I falling behind on my responsibilities, relationships? How many times is acceptable? Do I find myself thinking about it frequently? Etc. So these are all these steps, and then I provide myself solutions like, hey, let's take a break, don't do it, focus on improving myself in other ways. If some time went by and, you know, I take a look at these questions, it's acceptable for me to go back, cool, I'll do that. So these are just examples. In past videos, I showed myself actually constructing these flowcharts, but they're not the biggest hit. So I'm going to try to do something different in the near future where I have a full video just dedicated on it. And then with every flowchart that I create that helps me solve an issue, then I just walk through it, give the link to somebody, and go on to the next one. So rather than focus like always discussing about like, okay, I'm working on this, I'm thinking about this, I'm spending so much time, it's nice to actually focus on developing the product, building up a huge stack like a portfolio, similar to what I just showed you with avoiding gambling. Well, there are plenty of other topics out there. If you have anything that you want me to cover that you're dealing with, that you feel yourself like, yeah, it just swirls in my mind, but I just like to have it all written down, let me know. It can definitely be something that I can work on because I want to create stuff that helps you out. So, went over there, or I should say, spoke really fast about all this, but I'm really pumped. I'm excited. I appreciate you guys being here. Could like and subscribe, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Bye.